RPM and Bubba Wallace have been struggling for sponsorship for what has been almost 2 years now, and it looks like they have finally gotten a sponsorship they've been looking for.
Lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the...
What's up YouTube, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about some good news coming out of the Bubba Wallace and Richard Petty Motorsports camp. Before we get that, make sure you like, hit the subscribe button, and let's get right into the video. They announced that Worldwide Technologies will fund a Victory Junction marketing campaign called Feel Your Heart Race that will include a primary sponsorship of RPM, the number 43 car obviously, for several races. Actually was later found out that it was 16. And Victory Junction is actually on the car, was on the car yesterday. This is being recorded before the Pocono race, but I'll make sure to point out how Bubba does in the Pocono race when it, happens. So, in the post-race, yeah. In the press conference, Bubba Wallace seemed pretty confident this will lead to improvements in his performances. And he did make a point that in the Coca-Cola 600, they were in 15th. Now, they weren't running that scheme, obviously, that has nothing to do with that. But just kind of an off topic, he pointed out that they've been good. Obviously, they've been good recently. Had a really great All-Star weekend, and even in the Coca-Cola 600, he was in the top 15 until he got caught up in a wreck. So improvement definitely from the RPM group, but I'm not saying that they're back, or I don't know if they really ever were there. But that they're going to start seeing improvements yet. But he seems very confident that this sponsorship will see improvement. Now, this was the only picture right there that I can find of the paint scheme. That is what it looks like. If y'all are interested, I'm just gonna leave that up there for you guys to look at while I talk about what I want to talk about. But I mean, it's not been a secret that pretty much since Bubba joined the Cup Series, he has not had a stable sponsor. I mean, he's had a lot of great looking paint schemes, but he had a lot of different sponsors that just seem to come up for 2 or 3 races that I would assume that Richard Petty is just able to convince to join the team for a little bit, or just to get by. There's been no secret of the RPM money struggles, as they went pretty much a lot of the offseason without a crew chief, and then they ended up going from within. And also they went to Talladega of all races. Like, wouldn't you want to go to like a racetrack that you're less likely to wreck at? That might just be me, but Talladega was the race that they did not have a backup car. So it has been no secret that they have been short money, short sponsors, and have not been performing well. And I think this is huge. Think about it from Bubba's perspective. He even said in the press conference, just having somebody believe in him and give him the opportunity to keep on doing his thing, it meant a lot to him, and I think this gives him confidence. He has 16 races where he knows he has a sponsor. He knows, he can relax. Now the only thing is, do keep in mind that if he does not perform well, I do feel like he might be out of the ride. But I feel like he is going to perform well, because I feel like the woes have not been all Bubba Wallace's fault. I think, yes, if you put in a Kurt Busch or somebody else, Ryan Newman maybe, they might get you better results. They probably will get you better results. But I don't think Bubba is the entire reason for the problem. Remember, prior to that, they had Smithfield as a sponsor, who did sponsor Bubba when he filled in for Eric Almirola, which they seemed to be a pretty big sponsor, putting a lot of money to that team. They left the year Bubba Wallace came with Eric Almirola. And also, they switched from Ford, RPM did, to Chevy with an RCR backing. And RCR and Chevy were both abysmal last season. Now, RCR is looking pretty good this season, and even the 43, like I said, had a really great last 2 weeks. But up until Charlotte, they really looked about the same. I think there was maybe 1 or 2 races they actually looked, they kind of had a decent race for the team, but they had really looked much like they did the season before last, and we're like, this might be the end. A lot of speculation about this announcement was that it was going to be the closing of RPM, or they're going part-time, and there was even, remember, that Honda rumor. And also, if you guys want to see, there will be a card in the top right. Also, a link in the description. I made a video about Honda the other day if you guys want to go watch that. If you guys are curious, I'm not really sure why they had to have another team. I guess it is a charity, Victory Junction. It is the Adam Petty charity, if I'm not mistaken. I apologize if I'm wrong on that. And it's in his honor, obviously. So it's definitely a good thing to get exposure for that charity. If y'all want to go donate, you go donate. I guess I'll put a link in the description if y'all want to go donate. And yeah, that's all I got for today. Make sure you like, hit the subscribe button, comment down your thoughts below. Do you think with this new sponsor, Bubba Wallace, will see improvements, or really just about to stay the same? You know, is Bubba Wallace going to be in this ride for a couple more years? Will RPM ever look good again? Make sure to comment down your thoughts below. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace out.